Hey everybody, Tom Barnes, stories from the 78 from Two Eagles Distillery, the home of Duey Juice, a product of an entrepreneur from Chicago's South Side, the Kenwood neighborhood, a product of a kickball game and wanting to have, a fun cocktail when you're having a kickball game, to now selling it in stores like Marianos and Binny's and all the things. I'm going to talk to Nate, who is the founder of Duey Juice, for this story from the 78. All right, with summer on the way, trust me, you're going to want to figure out how to find Duey Juice. The South Side born by my friend Nate here. How you doing, Nate?
Really good, really good.
So you decided to start this, about 2022?
2022, decided to make it and wanted to create something that was smooth enough for the lighthearted consumer, but also packed enough punch for the cocktail enthusiast.
Right, and I think there's you have a great story, and I read an article in one of the papers, what have you, but that this started from a kickball league in Kenwood. That's kind of the origins of this, and you go, I got to make some stuff for my boys.
Exactly. I wanted to just say, hey, what can everybody just enjoy? Something that just was universally accepted. And that's what Duey Juice was born. And Duey Juice is the most refreshing, ready-to-drink cocktail in the entire market.
And talk about the design, because every little detail that you've put into this matters. Explain a little bit of the design and the two different bottles that we have here.
Absolutely. So with Duey Juice, we wanted to create something that was going to stand out on the shelves, right? And the whole premise behind the idea is creating a product that was affordable but still premium. That's where we went ahead and went with the glass bottle. Glass bottle with a resealable cap for preserved consumption. Also with the glass bottle, that allows the vibrant colors to show on the shelves, which as a small brand, we don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars to dump into marketing. So we needed something that could lure in the consumer. So they go ahead and grab the bottle. We also went with sort of a quirky name, like Duey Juice.
Where did the name come from?
So my name as a child used to be called Dewey. I used to be called Dewey.
Oh.
And I never had a name for the brand, but one of my friends said, just call it Duey Juice Cocktails. I said, you know what? It strikes curiosity. And so that's one of the things that I wanted to do. I wanted to strike curiosity from the consumer where they grab it. Now at that point, we're one step closer to possibly making a purchase. Because it's in my hand, it looks good, the name is odd, it's memorable.
Yeah, and this is one of the newer bottles that you're going to have, right?
That's one of the newer bottles right there. And we wanted to go with something that also, when you're picking up that bottle, that's 12.6 ounces, right? So in your mind, though, it feels like I'm getting a lot more fluid.
Yeah, because what you were talking about before, and humor me for 1 second, we're going to walk over here. Not that we want to show other products, but this is what you were talking about, especially when you put it up against a can, it looks like there's a lot more there, right?
It looks like it's a lot more, but realistically, it's the same amount of fluid.
Right.
Then also, when it comes to having it merchandised in retail, with it being a taller bottle, it has to be positioned properly. Normally on a higher shelf, as opposed to being able to be placed on a lower shelf. And so it's a lot of things that going into this product, I said, how can we give ourselves a competitive advantage given our limited budget?
So you started making this concoction that ended up being Duey Juice just from these kickball games in Kenwood, you going into the liquor store, finding all these ingredients, but there's a whole other part of this that gets you to the distillery that we're at right now where this product is made, and that is with an architect. What was the type of architect?
So they're technically called a beverage architect, right?
Yes.
Fancy name for a bunch of scientists that know how to commercially create products.
Right. But it's a process that took a little while, right?
Oh, it took 2 years.
Yeah, okay.
It took 2 years because we wanted to make sure we got it right. And so I was able to give them my homebrew recipe. Every single formula that we have, from the tropical blend to the blueberry lemonade to the strawberry guava, I made all of those in my kitchen. But I gave it to them and said, hey, I need you to recreate this and make it my own so I could sell it and be commercially stable. And so that process takes a long time, especially when you want to make sure that it's perfect.
Right, and the folks here at Two Eagles make it perfect the way you want it before it's shipped out, right?
Absolutely perfect. And so our beverage architect gave our folks here at Two Eagles the production manual, all the specs, and now they just rinse and repeat every single month.
And the video that people are seeing right now as we're talking, they're seeing it being bottled right here in the Chicago area, which is very cool. So born on the south side, bottled on the northwest side, let's say, and then distributed out. You guys are in different Marianos, Binny's,
Pete's, Tony's. And we are a true Chicago brand. I mean, when you think about the Chicago spirit, Anybody or anything that's from Chicago, it's a lot of grit and grind and perseverance that goes into brands from Chicago, and that is what Duey Juice Cocktails really encompasses. We're a brand that just doesn't take no for an answer. We're going to show you why you really love it. We're going to show you why this is considered the most refreshing cocktail on the market. Premium meets affordability. If you want a good product, $7, you're not going to get anything better than Duey Juice Cocktails.
And when you go to a store, does it come like individually? Does it come in a pack? How does it come for people who are
It comes
curious?
individually in a single glass bottle like so. But by all means, if you're at the store, you want a case of 12, go ahead and do it.
Just got to call you, huh?
Just call me.
And you have a little background in the beverage business that helped with the passion that you wanted to make this beverage, realizing that this could be something.
Yep.
You had a lot of education along the way to understand taller in the front. People will want to maybe get that over the smaller cans and all that stuff, right?
Yeah. It's funny because going through all my life experiences, through all my career in corporate America, I didn't realize how it would all come together at some point in time. And I'm just thankful for all the mentors and people and colleagues that I had along the way throughout each of my roles. That has made me the well-rounded individual that I am today to be able to run this brand and have a successful brand, because it's hard. It's hard, and every day is a challenge, but I'm a former athlete. I love the challenge. I love to get out there, leave it all on the floor every single time. And with Duey Juice Cocktails, this is my baby right here. And I'm passionate behind it. So guys, when you guys see this out there, know that it's a lot of love and passion that goes into each one of these bottles, and we're giving it our all every single time.
Right, and when you say giving it your all, you mentioned to me earlier that you almost lost everything to make sure that this survived through a couple hiccups along the way, but
Yep.
blessing in disguise is to get you here at Two Eagles for them to distribute the product.
Absolutely. I mean, it came a tough point where a key part of our infrastructure had went down. And at that point, I had to empty out my entire savings, my 401k. I had to max out all my credit cards. It was either that or let the business go to ruins. And so I believed in it. A lot of support from my fiance, who said, listen, I can hold it down a little bit at the household, so you go ahead and do what you need to do. So without a lot of these things happening and some divine intervention from the Lord, it wouldn't be where it's at today. So I'm super thankful. We have a strong infrastructure in place now. We have the best of the best co-packer, which is Two Eagles right here, who really does a great job with the product. They get it right every single time. And so I'm just grateful, and I've learned so much throughout these 3 years that we've been in business.
And you have the two flavors, right? The original being the
original is a tropical blend, so that's an orange, mango, pineapple. That name is changing this May, so it's gonna go from original to Oasis.
Oasis, all right,
Yeah.
all right. And then the blue, we got a little peek inside one of the big, the masher tanks here at Two Eagles. What's the blue one?
The blue one's a blueberry lemonade rum punch. I mean, incredible. And then the one that's coming out in Q2 of this year is a strawberry guava lime.
Oh, you got me at guava, my friend.
Oh man, phenomenal. So that one's actually 12.5% alcohol. Most of the other two are 10% alcohol, but all three are phenomenal. All three, you find it $7, $8 in the stores.
And you also mentioned when you were talking about your story about, that Chicago spirit, and you might not know who I am, but you're going to want to, and then you're going to be sorry if you don't, kind of an attitude. I've heard so many people in places that come from Chicago that have that attitude because it's not Los Angeles, it's not, New York or, whatever, trendy city is at the time. Chicago's always Chicago, right? But man, we do it. When we do it well, and we do it, and everybody wants to copy off us.
Absolutely, because, it's true. If you can win in Chicago, you can truly win anywhere. Chicago is such a diverse metropolitan city where you got a little bit of every single culture here in Chicago, and it's really a great test market too, because you can get so many different feedback from different cultures, different ethnic groups, whatever you might have. And so that's why I just really feel like with the support that we've gained in Chicago, I know that Duey Juice is going to be a strong national brand one day.
Nate Duhon, thank you so much for taking time to chat with me. I appreciate it. And liquor stores, but is there a website that you want people to go to that maybe learn a little bit about your story or anything else?
Visit us at deweyjuicecocktails.com. That'll give you a little bit of insight into our story, and then also you can put in your zip code and find the nearest location to you.
Awesome. Well, you heard it there from Nate. This is Tom Barnes. You can reach me at tombarneschicago@gmail.com and storiesfromthe78.com. Check out some Duey Juice right here Cheers to you, my friend. Congrats.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep.